Hi, everyone. So we're in the Empress studio for our podcast, and I want to introduce you to the very first speaker for 2026, Samantha Bini. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what you do and your core message around the mission and purpose behind what it is that you do?
Sure. Well, hi, everybody, and thanks for having me. It's awesome to be in this podcast studio representing We Rise Cardinia. So I've got over 20 years of corporate experience, and I'm in the process of transitioning that into being a business owner. So most recently, co-owner of Citadel Solutions. And I'm in a period of my life at the moment which a lot of women don't talk openly about, which is a transition phase. That building, that reviewing, that rewiring, as you would say.
Yes.
So that's where I am at the moment. And behind my vision is a real heart for helping people, for uplifting people, for helping people find their path and build the...
Well, we need that in our group. You know, that's what We Rise is about for us. It's about being able to see each other and wanting to be of service to others, in other words. And then how can we help each other? So it's a great addition to have you in our group, and you did an amazing job presenting. So with your experience of, so far with We Rise, what do you feel about We Rise, and what has it done for you? And where do you think you will see yourself in the next 12 months within this sector of networking? Because networking is, I would say, new to you in the last 6 months. So how has We Rise made a significant difference to you?
We Rise, so very good
Cardinia
questions.
Shire. I should really say that, shouldn't I? We Rise,
Cardinia Shire. So We Rise, the term We Rise to me means collaborating, uplifting in an environment where there isn't competition between women. You're not afraid of uplifting someone else because it'll downgrade you in any way. And the Cardinia Shire chapter in particular hits different to any other networking event that I've been to, whether it's in my corporate life or as a business. The vibe of the room is contagious. There's energy. There's genuine excitement for the women there. There's this buzz in the room for anyone that's there. And the women actually seem genuinely happy to be there, supportive, encouraging, uplifting. In the short time that I've been a part of the chapter that you run, Cardinia Shire, I've already made a few really good friends who not only support you in an entrepreneurial sense, but in life as well, those real connections.
I think that's where it hits different with our group, isn't it? It's not just about entering that room, and then it's not just about business cards or exchanging it. It's about really seeing one another and holding that space for one another, so that when we do leave the room, we still reach out for one another. And that's where the magic happens. It's like you said, it's not just about business for us. It's about truly coming together to connect and learn from one another. So it's wonderful to have you as a new addition. You're very supportive to our group, and you've been able to do a marvelous job presenting and sharing your message. So thank you, Sam. And I look forward to many more events and seeing where all of this goes. All right, Sam. So after your very first presentation with us at We Rise Cardinia Shire, you were fantastic, by the way, and you were our very first speaker for the year, and it took a lot of courage and confidence to get up and do what you did. So when you say courage comes before confidence, that was your topic, right? Why do you think so many women get stuck waiting for the confidence?
Well, if they're anything like me, the way we're raised is that you get the knowledge first, you get experience first. In corporate, you build up years in a job first, you do training, and that's what gives you the confidence.
Yes.
You tick a box and you're like, I've been here XX number of years, now I can go. But when it comes to business, it's very different. When it comes to business, if you wait for all those things to happen first, you're never going to get off the ground. So for me, I think a lot of women get stuck waiting for permission, waiting to feel ready. I don't know about you, but I don't feel ready first as an entrepreneur. I never feel ready. But it's about saying yes and taking the opportunities when they're presented to you. Don't take for granted that they will always be coming through the door. So you say yes, you step forward, you take action, you act in faith, and then the confidence will follow you there.
Absolutely. I love that outlook, because for many of us entrepreneurs, especially women, having to say that yes is sometimes the most difficult part. And what I've found, even with my own experience and being in the same room as women, because, we all started somewhere. It just doesn't happen.
Exactly.
So you've made some great points about saying yes and giving it a go. It's actually how I started at WeRise Cardinia. I wasn't even an entrepreneur. I was just representing someone else, and they asked me to be a coordinator, and I just said yes. And the results have been amazing. So thank you for sharing that. So Samantha, after you presented at the WeRise Cardinia first event in February, you spoke about courage comes before confidence. So I would love if you could give us a lived example where taking action before feeling ready actually led to confidence.
Good question, and a good example too, because for all the women in the room, you were there to witness what I'm about to tell you. So I have a lot of experience in corporate. I can public speak, I can train rooms of analysts, and I can attend conferences and represent my organisation, no worry. But when it came to being a business owner and you presented me with an opportunity to speak, at first I said yes, and then life happens. Things happen behind the scenes that people don't see and don't know about. And I remember a phone call with you when I was in tears going, I don't think I can do this anymore. And you're like, building me up. You didn't choose me for all these other reasons. You chose me for me. And just sleep on it. And I didn't even sleep on it. I remember getting back to you the same night saying, yes, I will do it.
Yes.
Because that was the purpose of my presentation, saying yes before you feel ready and taking action before you feel confidence. And so I lived that in the room with everybody in February, because that was my first public speaking as a co-owner of a business, not as a corporate boss.
Yeah.
I have all the confidence in the world as a corporate boss.
Yeah.
But as an entrepreneur, speaking to a room full of women, many of whom are way further along the journey than I, that took a lot of confidence.
Can I just tell you something? And I've mentioned this to you before, but I'll reiterate it again and say how very proud I was of you on that day, because not many people knew what had happened in the background, and you had said yes. And you are a true testimony to saying yes and then being able to follow through with it, even when things around you were falling apart. My heart was breaking for you, but as women, we need to uphold each other. And this is when, a bit of kindness, the right word, the encouragement, we all need that from one another. And to me, I knew what had happened, the background story, but and like you said, it wasn't about that. It was about you being able to say yes and getting up there and courageously being able to tell your story and being able to offer value to the women. That's all that mattered to me. Everything else, in my mind, I knew was going to work out. We just had to get through it and hold each other up. And I think WeRise Cardinia Shire, we have a lot of women in the room like that. And it was a pleasure and it was an experience for myself to watch it unfold, because I didn't know. But
is she going to hold it together?
Is she going to hold it together? But I knew you. You're a very strong woman. Despite all the other responsibilities that you have, and the challenges that you have. First and foremost, your voice is heard, is seen, is respected and valued, and you brought it into the right space and you brought value, and that's what mattered in the end. And I think we all have that sometimes going on. So many challenges in our life where we sometimes have to leave it at the door and courageously move forward in whatever chosen field we're pursuing. So thank you so much. I loved everything that you had to present. Not for a minute did I think, or anyone in the room think, that you were going through some major challenges in your life. You really shone that day, and you were a great example for everything you spoke about.
Thank you so much for holding space. That's the difference of Cardinia Shire.
Thank you. All right, Sam, so we've spoken about how courage comes before confidence, and given us an amazing example in saying yes and going for it. So last question to you is, what are some simple ways women can start showing up more confidently right now, even if they don't feel ready?
That's a great question. And it can start with some small, simple actions that are deliberate and intentional, like making a social media post, putting yourself out there. It doesn't have to be a live reel if that's not your jam or you're not comfortable with that quite yet, but start somewhere. It could be reaching out to somebody, a cold email. Yeah. It could be seeing a networking event like the next Cardinia Shire chapter event and saying, I'm going to try it out, and buying a ticket.
Yes.
It could be something simple. So you can start small.
Yes.
And as you start small and the confidence finds you there, it builds you for the next step.
So I think you're absolutely right. And I think the magic happens when you repeat it, repetition. Yes. building that muscle over time with anything, right?
Absolutely. It's like going to the gym and you want to build some biceps.
Yes.
You're not going to go and do like a couple of, what do they call, lat pull downs?
Yeah, and then you
or
have a
something
perfect
and
body.
expect to have a perfect body. You have to keep doing it, keep practicing.
Like anything in life, and confidence over time in whatever area that you're trying to do, whether it's using your voice or is it at a job or, even being able to speak up and not be a people pleaser.
Exactly.
All those little things over time, if you can rewire and break that mold of being in fear and limitation, that actually increases. But to get that confidence, you have to be in the room. You have to keep doing it over and over again, rinse and repeat, as they say.
And be deliberate about it.
Yes.
And if you're new to it and you're not sure what to do, schedule it into your day or schedule it into your week. Set 10 minutes, 15 minutes aside a few times a week and pick a few activities that you're actually going to do.
Thank you. Thank you, Samantha.
Thank you.